can't find your song. I can't find it. I don't know where our theme song. Wait, no, wait, hold on. Wait, it keeps disappearing. Where is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Classic nerds. Is the Cool Nerd Weed Show. I don't know what happened. iTunes failed me. I had everything queued up. Like
Everything was ready.
every time I'm more prepared than I usually am, things go wrong. When I wing it, which is what I've been doing for 3 years, it goes way better. It's the Cool Nerd Weed Show. That's TS.
And that's Sasha.
And we are here. I'm just gonna make sure because that was troubling. I don't know why that happened, but I think we're okay now. I think we're good. You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I need to do. Okay. Okay. We're here. And follow us on Twitter at Cool Nerd Weed and everywhere else. Cool Nerd
Recording
Weed
in
Show.
progress.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you, Zoom. Can the listener hear that? The recording in progress?
I don't think so.
Did you hear
I
that,
don't
listener,
think so.
dear listener?
Go ahead and text us if you heard recording in progress.
I don't think I commercial played, so something went wrong. Something went weird in this beginning of the broadcast. It was all good. We had 3 solid weeks of our broadcast just without a hitch. And last week there was a little hitch. And today it wasn't a big hitch, I guess. I'll just play an extra commercial. Don't worry, Adobe. I'll get you paid. I love you, Adobe. I'm not going to take money out of your pocket with my silly old podcast. I mean, it's a pretty great podcast, gotta be honest. But it's not worth it. It's not worth taking away money out of your pockets, Adobe. We love you. And we love you so much. We do love you. We really love Adobe. They're the best. And we are very grateful to be here. And even during our shenanigans, and it's like we're awesome, but we definitely like the weed industry is so weird. Like
For sure.
You're a veteran and I'm like kind of a veteran, and like it's still like we don't know shit, like with how everything's changing, like we don't know what's going to happen from state to state to state. Like you could be in weed for 40 years and like still something new is happening, which is why we have this show.
Every day.
We love this show.
Constant evolution.
Always. And it's nice to be here and talk about it with you during our wonderful hour. And what did I want to say about social medias? I think I wanted to say something because there's something going on with all the social media still. They're still muting weed content creators on TikTok for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do shit on TikTok, honestly, but let alone have a weed podcast. Instagram is more of a safe space for like the sex worker community and other communities, but it's still not a great space for weed. Our content, we had to switch. If you want to view our content, you have to make sure you have your 18 plus on, or else you won't see our posts. Our great posts that we didn't do one today anyway but
I did one.
Oh, you did? You did one for the Cool Nerd
Just
Region?
1 minute ago.
Oh, nice. I didn't know. Thank you.
I almost missed my cue.
Well, it didn't matter because the thing didn't work anyway.
But I got a post up.
Well, thank you for doing that. Yeah. I don't know. We'd.
You got your own? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you need a lighter?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Thanks. What are we even smoking? I don't
Oh,
know.
this
I don't even
is-
know what I'm babbling about. Social media. Tell me to shut
social
up about social
medias
media.
and stuff. We're smoking Featured Farms infused pre-roll. This is Premium Jack, and it says Candescent. I don't know if this is a collab with Candescent Flower, but comes with 2 mini pre-rolls. I am super stoked to be back in the shop and receiving my goodie bags again.
I am too.
One of the perks of being in the industry is the goodie bag.
That's true.
Okay, let me just tell you, things have obviously changed, and everything needs to be. You need to pay taxes on everything. So
Oh, yes.
I actually paid $1 for every sample that I received.
You mean $1 each, or
Yeah,
you paid $1 for everything?
$1 each.
Oh, so they're just
fine.
asking you for the tax.
The tax. So I don't mind paying the tax. I got a full eighth of Private Reserve from
Now, for the samples,
Northern Emerald.
do they give you samples all the time, or like how we at the weed we would get samples every day in some way, shape, or form?
They like dole them out like once a week, so you'll get.
Okay, so you get them once a week.
We get once a week, but I feel like we at the weed we would get samples every day, but we get like one thing.
Yeah, we wouldn't get like a package of any sort. That's crazy.
They kind of want to control it so that we're not off on our lunch eating edibles and using all the samples.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do that anyway.
Yeah, you can.
But I don't know.
No, I mean...
And also you get them, everything's controlled now, so it's... We have to go through, the process of getting a sample, they have to go through, everything's tracked, so it's got to be tracked that the sample actually made it to me.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Through track and trace. Okay. So, this company gave samples for $1 or a penny or whatever it is, and then I got them and I paid the tax on them. I'm totally cool with that. I love
interesting
that thing.
I guess fine. I didn't even think about the track and trace aspect, because I mean, when I was leaving, that was all being started, really, like Metric, and I mean Metric was a ways away by the time before I left, but
it was a whisper, a rumor.
It was, it was like, we're never gonna see Metric. I think it was like almost a full year after that they started doing
like really implementing Metric track.
Yeah, exactly. And like, so we started doing it just so probably we would get in the habit of it, but it wasn't like something that was, it's something as simple as like getting your sample for the day or your staff gram or whatever we did at the time. Like,
the staff gram, man! If I tell people
that was luxury, that was.
I tell people about a staff gram, they're like, "What?" Like eyes, these kids' eyes bug out their head. Yeah,
staff gram was definitely because when I first started, there wasn't like staff gram was like the old school, and then they stopped, and then we just got the sample. That I mean, that was fine for me too. I had samples built up for as far as the eye can see. You couldn't measure it any more than that, or else you get in trouble. And then we started doing the staff gram, and that was pretty great. That was pretty beautiful, and it was like,
I miss a staff gram.
Yeah, it was very generous, and it was really nice. You could pretty much we were limited on some stuff. I don't think we could get like mega or something like that.
No, because everybody we had to
get the thing that everybody was getting.
We couldn't get the same thing every day too.
That too, yeah, we had to.
You couldn't just save up your nameless mega wellnesses and end up with an eighth of it at the end of the week.
Exactly. No. There were
had to get something different. Like, this is a sample. You get to try different things. So just try different things.
Yes. Well, that's great. I'm glad. I for one, am glad that you're back as well, because I get to participate in your samples. So thank you. What's the dispensary?
This is the Greenhouse.
The Greenhouse. Thank you. I was
Herbal
get the name.
Center. The
Greenhouse Herbal Center for hiring my friend, because I get to
on Hollywood Boulevard.
Reap the benefits. Well, I haven't been there, but I'm excited to visit. I am.
You have to come out.
Yes, I know. I will be. I'll probably be there so much that you'll be annoyed with me. But yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there a lot soon. I'll get there.
They were like, they're like, there's a big tattooed guy out front asking for you. I'm like, what? I'm like, well, I probably know him.
Was it?
It was my my homie from Buffalo, who lives in Orange County now.
Oh, nice.
Came through.
That's cool.
And
yeah.
Out of the blue. I mean, it was good to see him.
Well, good. I'm glad you have groupies coming.
But it's like anyway, this featured farm is an infused pre-roll, and they do an extraction from the flower. It's like single source flower, and then the oil extracted from that plant is infused back into the flower of the pre-roll. And this is Jack, premium Jack.
So wait, what's infused? Wait, tell me that again. That was confusing.
It is confusing.
I thought I understood, and now I don't.
So this featured farm infused pre-roll is premium Jack. So the strain is Jack, and so they take an extract from that Jack and infuse it back into the Jack flowers, and then make this pre-roll. So it's like a double premium jack.
That's like
There's a lot of companies that are doing it like different. They're mixing up
how do you infuse that into the
It's got to
flour?
be an oil. Some kind of oil is probably sprayed.
Okay.
Or it's on the paper. It seems like it's probably, just from looking at this, it's probably sprayed on the flour, I'm thinking.
Yeah, probably.
Because the paper is just looks like a natural
Yeah, I don't
raw
think it's the
cone.
paper. Yeah, I guess that's how you would do that. That confused me. I don't know why that like made me feel confused. I don't think I've seen. Maybe I have seen that.
This is a newer product.
Can I see it?
Yeah. Here you go.
Thanks. Cool. All right. Yeah, no, I'm excuse me. I'm glad that you wait, so is it candescent or what?
I think it might be candescent flour, but it's powered, like Rove is the company that does their.
Oh, Rove.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
you know, the packaging is so small, and everything's printed like in like a zero font on a lot of the packaging. So you
Yeah.
need like a microscope to read it. But
There's a lot of information.
there's a lot of information stuffed on this little package.
Not as much as like some places, I guess. But all right, well, cool. Yeah, and I'm excited to try many other samples that you bring to me, and I will also go pay for them. I don't mind paying for weed. I've always, even when I worked at the dispensary, has been like happy to pay for weed. But I've
Yeah,
also
for
been
sure.
really, really, really happy to accept weed as, you know, gifts and stuff. Like I remember drowning in like when I was in the office, like and drowning in samples and stuff like that, and it was just like pretty glorious.
There was like we had a sample. There was like a sample basket of samples.
Oh my
that,
God.
Of samples that like people either like everybody got one already, and these were extras, or it was something.
Or sometimes stuff
wasn't
people didn't want.
or it wasn't very popular. And,
Pet stuff would often end up there.
oh, that's where I got the atomizer. It looked like a
really?
an asthma inhaler.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
That was in the sample.
never
Like
used that.
I was like,
Who
hey,
doesn't
can I?
want this?
I'm like, who doesn't? Nobody wants this.
This is valuable.
This is like 2,000 milligrams.
Oh, good times at the dispensaries back in the day. Well, it's still good times because you get a bag full of goodness, and I get to leech off of it. So wait, what were we talking about first? You have the list.
Oh, this is fun. If you're going to be in New York, you're going to go to the state fair this year.
Yeah.
Guess what you're allowed to do?
Oh yeah. We wanted to be positive to start off the show. That's what we're doing. That's our thing today. All positivity for the first 45 minutes, and then not so much. But yes, guess. Guess what you get to do.
What can you do?
Guess. Are you guessing?
I'm guessing.
What? Like say your guess in your head, and then we'll tell you if you're right or not. And if you're not right, it's okay.
What can you do in New York State at
That you
the
couldn't do
state fair
before.
that you couldn't do before?
What would we be excited about that you could do before? And also what would we be talking about on this show that you would be able to do at the fair? Okay. If you guessed
Vomiting on the tilt-a-whirl.
then no, I hope you're wrong about that.
This
honestly.
may help you.
Yes, this would help you. Yeah, if you guessed what can you do in the New York State Fair? If you guessed dressing up like I don't know.
An ear of corn.
Yeah, if you guessed that. I hope you're wrong, but I mean, you're probably right. You're probably going to have to do that. But if you guessed smoking weed, then you'd be totally right because you can smoke weed now at the New York State Fair.
New York, what is happening?
That's pretty cool. You can't even,
cool.
Can you do that in LA?
No, I don't think so. I haven't been to the LA County Fair in a long time, and
Wow.
I smoked in the parking lot, but I don't think you could smoke in the LA County Fair. There might be a smoking section. Maybe you can now. But in New York, right now, state law allows cannabis consumption anywhere tobacco use is permitted.
Yeah.
So smoking is it's not permitted inside buildings or in the concert venues or on certain places, but any smoking areas where you see people smoking tobacco in the state fair, you can go ahead and light one up.
So yeah, you can't do it around kids, so just don't do that.
Just be considerate.
Yeah, just be considerate. I guess there's like some memorials not around there, anything that looks like it would be something where people just want to chill out and not smell any sort of smoke. Probably just use your discretion. But
do people bring their kids into the tobacco smoking sections?
I don't know. I feel like not usually.
In 2021, if you find a place where you can actually smoke tobacco,
I would be surprised to see a kid, for sure.
Like somebody in a stroller.
I would be surprised. I mean, I don't really think you need to not smoke around kids. I guess I just like if you're in a park, like if you're in like the park part of the state fair, don't smoke. But I mean, if you're, I don't think your kids should have access to it, obviously, but I don't, you know what I mean? If you're smoking weed in your other room and your kid's taking a nap, I don't think you should be, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's fine. I think kids can be around weed. I just don't think we should be, you know, like hotboxing them.
Yeah,
but
sure.
You know, but so that said, I don't know. What would you do if there was what would you be allowed to do if you were in the smoking section in New York and there was kids there? You'd just be fine. It would be allowed, right?
It would be fine. They'd be like, oh, this is cool.
I mean,
like,
I guess it would be like uncouth to bring your kid to a tobacco smoking section.
I would think so.
I mean, because it's icky to have like secondhand smoke around your kids, but secondhand weed smoke, you know.
Have you ever been to the New York State Fair?
Yeah, I love the fair. I really love the fair.
It's in Syracuse.
Yeah, it's in Syracuse. Yeah, and I really, I mean, I more so obviously went to the Jersey Fair because it was right in the Meadowlands, but yeah, when we made it up to the New York State Fair, I had a lot of fun. I love fairs. Like I really do. It's like kind of my
carny. You got kind of
I have a carny in me. I do.
vibe.
Well, my dad's a clown. So don't call my dad a carny. He'll get very mad at you. So you will not be welcome in my house anymore. Because he is a clown. He is a circus clown. So if you call him a carny, he'll be like, it's different.
I would never do that.
And I think a carny would get mad if you called them a clown. So there's like a weird rivalry.
I would never do that to your dad. And also, I'm never turning the Mets game
well,
on.
That you should. You'll never live down.
Ever,
You'll never. Well,
ever.
You changed the Yankee game to put the Mets on. That was the real. That was the real like tragedy of the situation. It was like I asked you what the equivalent was, and you said if I changed Dodgers to put on the Angels.
This is true. This is 100%.
Well, you're lucky that I wouldn't do that because I wouldn't do that because I am not an asshole. Only an asshole changes the Yankees and puts it on to the Mets. Shameful.
It is.
In a New York, shameful. But anyways.
Anyway.
So yeah, no, that's exciting. I'm happy for people. I don't think I'll be in town at the time, but I would love to go smoke weed at the New York State Fair. Yeah, this will help your nausea from all the sweets and the rides, the very dangerous rides that I wouldn't recommend to go on. I just like playing games and walking around and seeing people. And yeah, smoking will add like a whole element of fun.
Of fun and chill. I wonder how it's going to be. It's probably like, how are the people of Syracuse going to react to cannabis consumption at their state fair?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think...
people voted it in.
Yeah, I don't think people will mind. I think actually
use.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. The New York State actually really likes weed, so I think Jersey is something that we have to be more worried about. We won't talk about New Jersey today, but it's a rough time for weed over there. The rules are coming out now for the industry, but it's still. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith on it, but
8 months into the year.
Yeah, after like mad arrests happened, whatever. And New York is like, I don't want to like stand up and applaud for them either because it took them a really long time to get their asses in gear. But and now they are. It seems like things are going well. I hope. We'll see when social equity starts to happen. Like I'll be the judge. But so far, New York is kind of going. It's doing the damn thing. So good on you, New York. That'll be exciting.
Yay.
Yeah. What else is cool? Okay, so another good thing is Las Vegas. Okay. Okay, so this is kind of crazy or interesting. Oh, is that the next thing?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, Las Vegas.
Okay.
Viva Las Vegas.
That's it. That's the one.
So a former.
Do you ever like think about Elvis?
All the time. Like, look at me. I'm an Elvis man. Bright light,
I mean
baby,
it.
gonna set your soul.
But do you ever like
you.
think about like Elvis?
How crazy his life was.
Yeah, and how crazy we were about him, and like how crazy what he actually did, and how crazy like his presence was, and
he got into the White House with a firearm.
The shit that he did
Because he was Elvis.
He was godlike, literally. I mean, we built a city for him. To see him on screen is so charismatic. So, anyway, I don't know why. I'm sorry.
Viva Las Vegas.
It was just my stoner tangent, and I mean, it wasn't a tangent. You sang him, so I just want to know if you
Thank you very
about
much.
What I do. Well, I always say the Val Kilmer quote from True Romance, which I don't think is something that Elvis ever said, where he says, "Oh, it happened, I always will." I don't think Elvis ever said that, but that's the one. That's the Elvis quote that I say. Okay. Anyways, Viva Las Vegas is doing great.
Yes. Las Vegas police officer sued for. She was facing termination for testing positive for cannabis, and. Scored a huge victory this week. They said that it was unlawful, her termination.
That's awesome. Good for her.
And that pretty much will set
it'll change the law basically, or change
it's setting precedent, because previously the Las Vegas Metro Police Department had a zero tolerance policy for cannabis, and they say it's what is it? Unattainable, which means untenable.
I guess it means it's like doesn't make sense. You know? Like it's like keeping a ban on weed for anybody, but especially the police isn't really fair when it's legal. Like why would you do that?
Anyone who's engaging in lawful use in the state of any product outside the premises of work. During employees' non-hours, they cannot do anything about it. Just like you can drink your fucking face off and be a cop.
Right.
And still have your job.
That's true.
So.
And it's because I think as we say often on this show, making weed, banning weed from use in your company is more so a trap on how to get people in trouble, just like any other drug policy is just a trap to get people in trouble, to keep institutions going. It's like that with employees. We're going to talk about that in the next part of the show. It's like companies that have these policies, it's not for the safety, well, I mean, they're saying it's for safety, but it's like if you can, be on any sort of, what is the policy on cops and antidepressants and such? Like, can you be on Xanax and be a cop? Or anti-anxieties and beta blockers and shit. Like, can you?
I don't know.
Like, what is I'm just curious because, I was thinking the other day because, they're talking more and more about the DUI and such with driving and under the influence of weed, and I was like, it should, it's a trap.
Yes.
This whole, but if they want to say it's for public safety, let's say they just want to say it's under the guise of public safety, don't operate heavy machinery when you're high. That's fair. You know what I mean? Like
that's one of the areas where they're saying, if you operate heavy machinery, just like with
Xanax though, you know what I mean? You put a label, you put a thing on the label in red and you say, don't operate heavy machinery, right? Like you could do that with weed too and just call it a day and then not have to test people for driving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just find it to be
there's so many warnings on the cannabis, but just treat it like another warning. So don't go to work and operate a bulldozer while you're consuming cannabis.
So if they're saying it's like public safety and they're restricting it for that or banning it for that, you don't want people high when they're being police, so if that's what the ban is for. You know what I'm saying? Like, quote unquote, for your safety. I don't want somebody who has a gun to, be high on, devil's lettuce. Like, if that's what they're
I also don't want my law enforcement to come in hungover every day.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Right.
if they're allowed to smoke cannabis,
then that's what I'm trying to get at. I think like crappily, I'm not like saying it very well, but I'm trying to get at like,
I understand. Like
we need to make this not a thing. We need to understand that it's special and like treat it with respect and care. But I think equating it with criminal activity and restricting it and banning it, that just like stigmatizes it and makes everything harder for everybody. I don't think that's been shown to be the way to go, especially when it's legal, you know? So yeah, it is untenable to keep weed banned, especially, you know, in a place where it is recreational. And Vegas is going very quickly in their weed situations. I mean, I think they're going to have like lounges galore very soon.
Yeah, Las Vegas and Nevada, they're going to have lounges. They've already said that they're going to stop testing most of their employees for cannabis use.
So that's cool for the police department.
And it was Officer Stuart Bowman. I said she earlier, but you know.
Oh, I thought it was a girl too.
Yeah.
Oh.
The judge was female.
Oh, well, good for all of them.
Yes, for everybody. So congratulations.
Congratulations, cops.
Officer Bowman.
You can smoke weed. Well, good. That's progression. Okay, and then very, very quickly, we'll talk about the Colorado thing. A couple minutes. Talk about that.
Okay. What's going on in Colorado?
Not the fact check. The
South Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
The license plates.
Yeah, this is
right. You wanted to.
Yes, this is fun.
Yeah, it is. So like, yeah, Colorado is like, you know, they're a lot of things, but what they definitely are is pro weed. I mean, you know, we'll talk about something crappy later, but Colorado is fun when it comes to weed. Straight up, they're open and completely tolerant, obviously. And Matt Stone and Trey Parker do their damn thing there, and South Park has really embraced the whole weed thing in the past few years, as we know. But like
the culture
to a point that's almost like too good to be true. I'm just like, we don't deserve this.
At a state level, this is insane.
We don't deserve this. We don't deserve, like, what did we do? Well, the weed community deserves it. I just mean we as a people. We the royal we doesn't deserve this. TS and I deserve this. But but like it's just an embarrassment of riches to have like the creators of South Park be in Colorado, a show that like very much makes fun of the state of Colorado and also the weed industry, but in a very like loving and endearing way, which is kind of like, that's the South Park way, you know. It's like poke fun at like Mormonism, like to brutal, but like hilarious and endearing. You know what I mean? Like everything that they do is like, it's successful, and they did that with weed, and Colorado really appreciated it.
Colorado had made cannabis-themed license plates, and you were able to bid on them for charity. They're official license plates, but you can't use them on your car. It'd be probably a bad idea to even put it anywhere on your car if you're driving outside of Colorado.
But they're really cool.
They're very cool, and all the proceeds go to the Colorado Disability Funding Committee.
Which is the coolest part.
So you can get on your official Colorado license plate, bong.
I mean, anybody can get these, right? Like is it just people in Colorado?
You had to bid, so they were very limited.
But if I bid on it, would 14. I be able to get it, or do I have to?
Yeah, no, people bid from all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had bong, ganja, integrity, hash, and it's 420.
Or is it 420?
Or is it 420? Is it 420? Yeah. See? Is it 420? Well, they should have added it's 420.
They should have. That would have been just as good. Yeah, those are going for $6,500, and the lowest bargain-friendly option is honey.
Honey. Which could be anything.
It could be anything. That's not exactly weed. I mean, it could be, I guess.
Maybe,
it is.
Maybe if you like spelled out like honey oil, like like HNEY
or like 017 or 710.
Like 710.
Yeah.
Honey HNY 710.
Yeah. See, you should put us on your committee, the Disability Funding Committee or whatever this is. It is from them, right?
Do they have a creative department?
Yeah, exactly. We got ideas, man. No, this is cool. This is funsies, and it's awesome. And like they were Matt Stone and Trey Parker were there, and it's just fun to see this sort of stuff happen. It's good for the community, and we're curmudgeons about some things, but it's always nice to see, some fun shit, some fun mainstream shit when it comes to weed, because it's kind of hard. We're getting there.
I mean, Colorado's making huge strides. They're ahead of the curve.
Yeah, Vegas, Colorado.
We should have been doing this. We should have been doing this in California 20 years ago.
California has got its own set. California, I feel like Colorado definitely, like, they don't. They're very like they're ahead of the curve, but they don't take themselves seriously. Does that make sense?
I don't know. The people love their freedoms.
Yes, it's a very like.
It's kind of like a do what you want.
We are who we are. This is what it is. I feel like California is a little bit more. I don't know. We're not. I feel like it's more disgruntled out here than in the culture a little bit. Don't you?
Yeah, we're a little bit. If we represent the culture, we're a little.
Well, I feel like we pretty accurately represent the culture.
For sure. We
probably are a little less disgruntled than some people in the culture. You meet some cranky cats.
Yeah, for sure.
In both the legal and black market, I feel like there's on both sides. There's cranky people on both sides for sure. And I feel like, I don't know. I don't really know though, actually. Maybe Colorado is super cranky.
Here they've got more. Do you want to know how much they go for? Or we can buy one. They're bidding. Bong went for almost $4,000. Got wax, $1,800. Hash about $2,500. Indica, that went for $2,700.
Wow.
Is it 420? Went for almost $7,000.
Really? Is it 420? Went for more than like indica?
Yeah, and the Integrities went for about $5,000.
That's weird. That isn't 420. Went for more than Integrity. I feel like Integrity would be like the best one.
Would have been bid up for sure.
Huh. Well, go get yourself a Colorado license plate. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and talk about more stuff. That's just how it goes.
It's the Cool Nerd Weed Show with TS and Sasha. Don't panic. It's organic.
Yeah, what he said. It's the Cool Nerd Weed Show with TS and Sasha. That's TS.
And that's Sasha.
And we are here on Adobe Live, which is our favorite place to be pretty much. Pretty much we love it here. It's our best, favoriteest thing to do. We mention that sometimes.
It's my happy place.
It is. It's our
happy place.
It's been our happy place for a solid 3 years ish, and we'll never stop. We'll never stop stopping. It's
Thanks, Adobe.
Yeah, Adobe. You. I mean, hopefully you have an idea because we like to tell you, but you really have no idea how much you help TS and I be like functional people.
Productive members of society.
Like for realsies, we're not exaggerating when we say like we wake up and think about like how happy we are to be on Adobe, and that like you hold us accountable to do a live show every week, and then the peeps who listen to us hold us accountable. When we're not around, you ask where we are, and that's kind of cool. So thank you for listening. Thank you, Adobe, for bringing us to a peep or two, and then thanks to the peeps for listening to us, because that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that we've had all of you for as long as we have, because we're just talking, we're just chatting. we're just having a good old friend sesh. What the hell am I looking for? What are we talking about? Oh, the Mexico thing. Yeah. It's going to be Mexico, and then we're going to talk about the employee stuff. Okay. So Mexico. Oh, this is funny.
This is kind of hilarious to me.
It is. You say the story because I don't have it.
Okay.
I don't know what I do. I don't know what.
So apparently, legal U.S. cannabis is pouring into Mexico, and because they're getting a good price for it, it's popular. And according to the Washington Post, it has such names as Bubba Kush.
You may know Bubba Kush from
Bubba Kush. You may recognize Kush from OG Kush.
OG Kush.
Purple Kush.
You may know the name OG. Ocean Grown, which is from the ocean in California. I definitely think that that's funny. I wonder, like, okay, so you think it's going to all of Mexico or just like Western Mexico or here?
Where's like Mexico City? There's a lot of money in Mexico
Where
City.
do you think I could get California weed in Mexico? Because I would like to know.
I would like to know. Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend for legal purposes. This is a joke, but
where can I get that Bubba Kush in Mexico?
In my vacation, once.
I'm gonna say that it's not going to like. It's bypassing Tijuana and Juarez, and it's going to Mexico City, and maybe eventually getting to like the tourist cities. I don't know, like Cozumel or where do people go in Mexico?
Well, I went to Playa del Carmen.
Yeah,
that was really nice.
Any Bubba Kush?
No, that was not what I smoked. It was definitely not Bubba Kush. It was like, it had a lot of seeds in it, but it was passable. I mean, got the job done. I would have taken, it could have been straight dirt with oregano in it, and I would have taken it because I was like very desperate to smoke, but it was pretty good. No Bubba, unfortunately. And Cozumel, yes, I feel like people have been going there. There's another place in Mexico people go to. Cabo? Is that in Mexico?
Cabo, yeah.
Yeah, people go there.
The Washington Post is saying that Mexico City is a destination. 60% of the cannabis.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Comes from California that's sold in Mexico City. 60%? 60%.
No way. That's high.
Yeah, I wish I found it when I was in Mexico City.
I've never been.
It's an interesting place. Scary fucking place. It would have helped calm my fucking nerves.
I keep saying I've said it. I've only been there once, and it was so beautiful. Like, it was so beautiful. Like, we were on, like, the water and whatever. Just, like, it was beautiful climate. Just the people there were just wonderful and sweet. And we were in a tourist town, so obviously they're wonderful and sweet. But still, it was just a great, authentic Mexican experience. And, like, I just felt, like, so in love with the land. And then I was at dinner with my sister, and there was a, like a tank rolling down the street with like a lot of armory. And I wasn't like, I didn't feel unsafe or anything. It just like kind of hit me like, oh yeah, let's not get enamored with tourisms because it's dangerous down there.
It is.
But it's beautiful.
The porous borders and the lure of cash have been the reason why people are bringing the California greens down to Mexico.
Do you think it makes dealing drugs safer if we bring California weed? Because that'd be nice.
It's like things start going the other way. Like,
yeah, like maybe California weed will bring like good vibes.
Good vibes down to the.
I just love it. I just felt so good down there, and it made me sad. It made me sad to remember. It made me feel like an asshole, first of all, because I was like, my privileged ass gets to like fly back, and like be fucking fine, and it just made me feel like a jerk off, and it also made me feel sad because I feel like it's quite beautiful down there. So maybe the California weed will bring like sunshine.
They legalized for recreational cannabis use. So
their policy on weed is always been pretty forward.
Pretty
like
loose. So if you might as well, I don't know why isn't Burner opening of cookies in New Mexico, not New Mexico, in Mexico City?
What are our
cookies,
our dealings down there?
What are the
New Mexico? Yeah, with like
the old
Walter
Mexico.
White. We only have a few minutes.
We do. What?
Well, I want to talk about the thing in the Huff and Puff.
Okay.
So we have like 6 minutes in total for this.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for doing show prep with us. We do.
Thanks for playing along.
Yeah, I think nobody's ever criticized that before. So, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's probably a little hard for an American to be like, let's open a weed business.
Oh yeah, south of the border. It's yeah. I don't know. You'd probably have to be
probably,
well connected.
And also, it's probably going to be hard to get like weed regulated.
Like
you know.
Yeah, it's kind of lawless.
But
in ways, but you never know. That cannabis may save Mexico.
That would be so great. I mean, I don't even I just feel like I've always prayed for Mexico. I've always thought it should be, should be a place because there's so much fucking history and it's like a beautiful place. And I would hope, I just hope the vibes, hope the weed vibes. I don't know. Do I sound like an idiot?
No. You're.
Would you tell me?
Yes, I would. I'm sorry, you're an idiot.
You would not.
No.
Which I appreciate. Friends don't let friends call each other idiots.
That's right.
Friends don't call each other names.
That's a PSA.
Just wanted to put that out there. So the last thing we're going to talk about that's good today is with the recreationalizations and the legalizations, the adult usations of weed is coming. More and more companies are saying that they're not going to enforce a strict weed policy, which basically means no more drug tests for you.
No more random drug tests for cannabis when you come back from your vacation.
Yeah.
Randomly.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. When you come back from your vacation, no more no more being terrified that you've been hanging around me for too many days and you're gonna get contact high.
Gonna pee in the cup.
Yep. No more scheduling. You're getting high time because you know that you haven't gotten tested in a while. It's going to happen. You don't have to stop smoking because, I know. So, I'm from that land where we very much had that in New York and New Jersey. Very much all employers had that.
You can pack your Whizzinator away.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to take one of those horrible cleanses that make you pee your pants on the subway. Not my story. It really didn't happen to me, but I know a lot of people who it did happen to, where you drink those vitamin B packed cleanses that you get off, they get at a smoke shop. They work, but they
do work.
Are horrible, and they're horrible. They feel horrible inside of you. No more. For a lot of places, it slowly but surely, it's coming. It's a lot of employers still want drug free, but I think that more and more, I know a couple companies of people who I'm very close with out in New York that have actually put out formal statements saying we're done testing. Just don't be stupid and smoke or be inebriated on the job, so inebriated that you can't do your job. Don't make us regret this, I guess is what they're saying. I guess it's basically we can take this away, so don't get too stoked on it, which is, I think, fair. Test the waters. Yeah. You guys are scared. You're scared to see what is going to happen with your employee. You're scared that it's going to be reefer madness, so test the waters here. See that it's not, and lo and behold, it's not going to be. So I think that's really good. I think that's really great
That is great.
That's a really good step in
positive. It's happening in all the states.
Yes.
All around
town. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Come back with the Huff and Puff, which is not as happy as we have been all show. It's stupid.
It is.
That was my professional.
Is that you're teasing?
Yeah, that was my professional tease. Whatever. I didn't do radio professionally or anything for my whole life. We'll be right back.
Gummies, 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 gummies. I got gummies. Do you want some gummies? It's the Cool Nerd Weed Show. The final Huff and Puff with TS and Sasha.
I'm going to kill you one of these days. It's the final Huff and Puff. Did you get it? Did you time it right?
I got it. It's a huge cloud.
One day your lungs going to explode and I'm going to have to do the final Huff and Puff. I will do it. The show must go on.
That's right.
but I always fuck it up. I don't know why. Like, that was me. That was 100% me.
If I pass out, I want you to finish the show.
Thank you. The show must go on, but I apologize. That was like totally my fault. I do love that gummy sweeper. It's the final Huff and Puff, and today we are going to talk about, okay, so we talked about Colorado before. We were like super stoked on Colorado. We were like, oh my God, we wish we lived in Colorado. But now
we're back to Colorado.
We're back, and we're no longer like super happy because this kind of sucks. It's weird too. Like, I don't really like know. I mean, I guess I understand. Okay, so they're trying to impose a new law, and we saw this like a while ago.
I think it actually passed.
Yeah.
They passed a new law.
They did. Okay.
HB 21-1317 passed.
Frick.
And
it's basically to try and get teens and like young people away from high potency weed, right? Like, that's the deal.
Specifically concentrates.
Yes. So yes, exactly. So not the 40% Northern Emerald strain. I talked over you before, but I wanted to ask you
that we smoked earlier.
How it was, and it was very good. We were high. It is high potency weed. But they're talking about like concentrates like 70 to 90%. Or in my Diamond's case, 99% THC. That they don't want young people to get that in their lungs because I don't know. So they're putting a lot of restrictions on it, and it kind of sucks because people who have taken solace and literal like refuge in Colorado from their home states have gone to Colorado because they have been sick with cancer or severe epilepsy. And as we know very well, this high potency weed is known to relieve a lot of problems for them. So these restrictions that we'll talk about a little bit really do harsh the mellow of medicinal patients who need this in order to not be sick, or in order to stop having many seizures. They need high potency weed. They need high concentrated Rick Simpson oil, like stuff like that, stuff that is very high in THC, and this makes it hard to get it, and I think that kind of sucks.
It does. There's a lot of medical cannabis refugees that moved to Colorado that were younger people. Children that could not get
Evie,
Evie's drops.
All those little, that one little girl, the other little girl as well. They moved to Colorado because she was having, rest in peace, and
multiple seizures.
Little Angel. She would not have lived the life she lived for as long as she did if she didn't go to Colorado and took very high percentage in THC weed. She needed it because she was having over 100 seizures an hour, and this makes it harder for somebody like her to get it.
Your limits for medical cannabis patient have dropped from 8 grams a day of concentrate to only 2 for a patient between 18 and 20. So it affects like. You need to be 18 to get medical cannabis in most states on your own that provide medical cannabis.
Do they do like caretaker like they did for in LA? I don't know even if they still do that.
I think they do. They have like some some caregiver program.
You can't bring your kid into the dispensary.
You need to.
Well, I know back in the day you couldn't.
You need to like administer that and purchase cannabis for
because when we were a collective,
would be under 18.
When we were a collective,
to be like a parent or a guardian.
Yeah, it was a parent. A parent would come in with your caretaker form. We were allowed to have special cases of kids to come in. I remember, like not kids, but like a 16-year-old or something with their guardian. Now that's like strictly not allowed, right? Like.
Yeah, no, I don't think we can.
I don't think you can let anybody under 18 back. But you can be a younger patient if you have a caregiver, right?
Like just to say that somebody
if, I'm just thinking of Evie now I'm like thinking of you, but
no,
but
if
like a
say
little
I
girl.
have a child and I need to administer cannabis to this child, the doctor could recommend that that the child was, but I would have to be the caregiver and written up as a caregiver to get the sort of a medical discount.
Yes,
as a caregiver, then I could go in and purchase. Well, if they're putting
regulations on how much you can buy as a medical patient, I'm assuming they're putting regulations on.
Yeah, it used to
recreational.
It used to be 40 grams was your limit for the day, but Reefer Madness is saying concentrates are way more potent, which is true.
It's true.
It is true, but your limits are too high, and for the casual user, your casual consumer isn't going to come in and buy 8 grams.
No, it's somebody who
every day.
needs it medically.
Medically, if you're a medical patient, you should have access to your medicine.
This is a shame. It's not really fair because there's this weird stipulation about teens getting access to weed when, I don't know if we've forgotten the advertising that cigarettes did that were marketed specifically towards children just as recently as last year. So or any marketing campaign that's tobacco is mostly driven to children. So this is like you're actually preventing people with the guise of public safety, just like I was talking about with the fucking cops, with Vegas, with the guise of public safety, you're making it harder for people who need it, like a cop, for people who need to, you know what I mean? Or cancer patients.
You are limiting access. Colorado is an enormous state, and not everybody, people travel for miles and miles around to get their medical cannabis. And then now they got to travel twice as often or 3 times.
Right. People people move already to be in Colorado to take advantage of the access, the safe access that it provides. And now you're going to make somebody who has cancer go to the go to the dispensary multiple times to get sick, you know what I mean? To get there, or with the risk of running out and having to deal with symptoms if you need it to not have a seizure. I don't know. It's just, I don't really know.
There is one small thing here, that there is an exemption to the law that for the new daily purchase limit, that if you can demonstrate a physical or geographic hardship and you can maintain medical cards before the age of 18, and doctors can recommend high dosage, then there's room for interpretation. But damn, that's a lot of extra hoops to jump through to really get access to your medicine.
And there is this is I think the point of this, which I want to say is we have to go. The point of this is to make it so that psychosis, which I think is something that, or hypermesis, something that cannabis will not relieve. Their physicians aren't going to be so quick to say, here, take some weed, because I think they're trying to look at it actually like medicine, which I think is an important thing to do. I support that, but I don't want it to mean, you know what I mean? If I go in there, I don't want them to do a full ass medical evaluation. I can prove I have the things that I needed for sure I can. I mean, anxiety and lady stuff, I guess, but that might not be enough. In New Jersey, it wasn't enough. You needed to have a lot to go wrong to get medical weed. I hope they don't mean that. I hope they don't mean it's going to be you have to have
you have to prove that you have cancer and you live 200 miles from the nearest dispensary.
I hope they don't mean that. Yeah, I hope that's because the last thing you want to do when you're sick is prove how sick you are when you're trying to get relief from your sickness.
Jumping through a bunch of red tape hoops.
Right. Yeah, that's the best thing to do. That's great. Let's keep that up. Okay.
No more red tape.
Yeah, no more red tape. So that's that. And that we don't like that. Boo. Boo. Well, hopefully it won't.
Did you say boo earns?
Boo earns. Yeah, we don't like that. We don't like that one bit. But yeah, it's a bummer. I don't like, get it together. Hopefully it won't be that bad. All right. So we are done with the show.
Already?
Follow us on Twitter at Cool Nerd Weed. Follow us everywhere else, Cool Nerd Weed Show. Thank you for bearing with our technical difficulties. I'll probably keep all these in for the recorded broadcast. So we're quirky. We're quirky. We're wacky. We're charming and endearing, and
don't panic.
It's organic.
Yeah, we want to thank you so much for being a beautiful audience. Thank you very much. We'll be back real soon. Y'all take care, and remember, unity forever, please.